Time that we talk about Genesys format and its impact on the market. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. See, guys, don't miss out on more Oz content. Leave a comment down below when you be walking in the booster pack. As per usual, so discount code MCO40 over on Gamer's Choice will save you on your purchase. I see that we've just done looks like a restock over here, which means you're going to get the opportunity to get any of these pieces you need, and especially one of the big ones here is actually Noroi coming back into stock. This is an actual W out here. For those of you that have been asking about, oh, will more of these be available? It does appear so. And Kong's also has done a couple of more coming into stock. I see we have Noroi's back in stock. Some other little bits and pieces here doing their thing. But once again, discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase on anything that you are going to need out of Doom and Dimensions, especially with the Genesys format. So let's talk about Genesys format here. So Pot of Greed and Genesys format is kind of going hand in hand. Now, remember, for tournament structure, you get basically 100 points to allocate, which means people are kind of testing out ideas. You know, Pot of Greed has been one of those cards that people are looking at and going, oh, well, you know, I need multiple copies of these. Because Genesys format literally dropped today, Pot of Greed has been being massively bought out also just all throughout the 22nd here. Look at this. This is all just on the 22nd. I have to load this 2 times. They have been wiping Pot of Greed out so much on the market that I'm honestly just shocked by this. Like, this is the level of turnaround here that you don't really get the chance to see all that often. And the fact that you've already settled up to $10 on Pot of Greed is crazy. Now, obviously, you know, there are alternatives. I mean, you can go get a QCR for what, 154 if you really want it. I can't imagine. Have these actually moved? One moved. Somebody said, I'll pick up the QCR. I mean, like, that's fine. You know, it's a QCR. You've also got, oh, what else? We have the classical Alti. Ooh, I do like this. I see we're at like 65 right now. 3 or so moved, a couple of first ed light plays. I don't really blame people for that, but even in like the alternate hollows, we've been seeing movements. You can also get the pot collection one. These are now 38s for not the QCR. If you just wanted like the regular version, none of these actually moved, which that's kind of interesting in itself. I guess the pot collection gets even more value as the days go on. But yeah, Pot of Greed, everybody. Graceful Charity is another one to kind of talk about. I believe Graceful Charity is a 40-pointer in the format. And I guess to be fair, Graceful Charity's already been upticking. Today alone, you saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copies move. And within those 8 copies, it was enough to actually push Graceful Charity up to the $60 mark. You actually have like movements within this card. So I guess I'm not rushing out and picking up staples for this format. I think this format is it's cool and it's fun, but to see like the value displacement on these cards is kind of crazy. Now, Exodia running around in this format at a capacity that is an interesting number. It's more than, basically, I mean, these pieces are unrestricted. I mean, you can get Lart Ultras here for 14s for Spanish, and then it looks like you jump up to 21 for the head, which I guess isn't terrible. Obviously, your leg is... The fact this leg is still the most expensive at like $22, and then, you know, you branch down to like the head, and then, you know, your arm is 14, you know, another $10 copy, and then, you know, the left leg being the cheapest at the $6 mark. I mean, to bling out Exodia is not really that hard. You've got cheap ways to do it, especially if you do want to play the Lost Arts. True King of All Calamities. Oh boy. So this is probably one of the more expensive cards within the format. Choose to play. And you do have a small, you know, number of these moving kind of threw, the way. It's not all that surprising to see that, somebody came through, picked up True King of All Calamities and said, hey, I got copies of these. I can now play them in Genesys format. That's fine, but I mean, is it going to break, the bank? Realistically, not. You can also get the Mystic Fighters versions for pretty much the same price point. I mean, 30 cents. Yeah, you had a couple of these move. Once again, nothing too crazy. Block Dragon. This spawns very bad ideas. You had 2 of these, actually you had 4 in total move today. So the whole point of like the Block Dragon interaction is, you basically facilitate getting searches for all of like the Broken Earth stuff. We really do know how good the Earth stuff can be. I don't know what its point value is, but I've seen a couple of lists floating around actually choosing to play this. And then there's the discussion of, well, we could just play Mystic Mine in the format, Well, Duelist, there is going to be a group of you that are going to like playing Mystic Mine. I understand that. You've had a couple move today, about 7 or 8 move on the secret rares. I can't imagine. All copies of Mystic Mine are pretty cheap at this point. We are paywall behind 3 prints. This also got posted in my Discord. I don't know where this is from. I apologize for that, but I wanted to include this in here because this is actually a good idea of what a Mystic Mine list looks like in Genesys format. I really wish I knew where this came from, but credit is my friend's like, oh, I saw this on Facebook, grabbed it, and I'm like, oh, okay. But if you're looking for a list, I mean, yeah, you can only play 1 Mystic Mine in Genesys format, but realistically, I mean, you've got very good cheap cards and things that you can supplement in here. You also see Iron Thunders being cards to actually help you out. I don't think this is a bad place to be. Now, people talk about, all right, well, what's price point going to be on this format? Because, I don't want to spend money. So just recently in the deck builder for Genesys format, $13 for Animancipator. Chainburn Genesys is $44, $70 on Morganite. You've got Witchcrafter at $78, $42 on Cosmo, Libromancer at $16, True Draco at $42, $105 on Shaddolls, $112 for Genesys Rongo Sharks, which, by the way, guess what? We're playing Rongo Reminiad in Sharks. You already know. We've got $60 0 point Genesys Paleozoic, Genesys Blue Eyes, $36, Necros $70, Odeon Pures $165. It's a little bit more expensive. Genesys Godi at $70, Heroes $57, Genesys Resonators $74, Godi at $50, Zombies at $40. You're kind of getting the gist here, right? Just on a refresh here, Dogmatica Cosmo $49. There are obviously some more expensive decks, like Exosister is going to cost you a little bit more. You can build a Red Eyes Metamorph deck for $47. Bujin's, surprisingly enough, for like $182 on Super Quants, too. But judging by, the spread here, you can also build Megalith Automat here. Just taking a look at your price points here, I mean, not too necessarily terrible but you've got plenty of spread across the price points here. Also, just wanted to pull this up, but this is what a 0 point deck looks like for this format. If your locals is going to test with absolutely no list, this is going to be something that I think is going to be something you're going to want to have fun with. Plenty of side deck options down here. I've spent a lot of this night looking into this format. I've learned a lot. And then, of course, I just want to toss this into Market Watch because this is crazy. If you've not paid attention to Azalea, you're going to see, $58, right? There's no way. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. This card is $50 right now. I don't know what happened to Azalea to spike this card up to this number, but you actually have a sale at 53, another at 42, and then 60, 44, 45, 50, 32, 30. This is nuts, man. This really, really is. I don't know what else to say, but wow. What do you guys think about today's market? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.